Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah and I'm the owner of Beige and Budget. I have started my cash stuffing journey and I hope to take you along with me so that we can budget and save together. Today I'm going to plan my sinking funds for the following week that's coming soon. I don't get paid until the 30th of June, but I'm going to be planning for the first weeks of July with this paycheck. So come along with me as I plan everything out and I explain sort of my income looks like, all that good stuff. First things first, I'm gonna write down my expected income. I get paid twice a month. So for July, I'm expecting to get paid the 1st and the 15th. I'm writing the acronym for the school board that I work for, and I teach high school, and I'm expected to get about $1,600 per paycheck. First thing I'm gonna do is go to my fixed expenses. These are non-negotiables that have to be paid no matter what. I've got my bills binder and my wallet binder. My wallet, every paycheck gets $300. So on the 1st, it'll get $300. And then again on the 15th, I like to do this twice and write it out twice. My bills binder and wallet will get stuffed again on the following paycheck with another $300. For my bills binder, I need to go to my sinking funds page and see what my reoccurring amounts are. 76. So if you take a look here, I've got all my categories copied that I always use in my binder. So my wallet gets 300 divided up. This is a non-negotiable. This is static, meaning it never changes. And the same thing goes for my bills binder. I usually try not to change what goes into my bills binder because these are all reoccurring payments that need to be consistent. My bills binder is going to get a total of $376 in the next stuffing. So I'm going to put that back on my monthly tracker, $376 for July. Okay, that's going to happen twice. Let's add up the total income. My expected total income is $3,200 a month. So now I'm going to add this up and see what we'll subtract. 376 plus 300. That is $1,352. So that's almost half of my monthly allowance, monthly paycheck. But these are the most important things, which is why I do them first. I need my spending money and I need my bills to be paid. Next, I'm going to go to my sinking funds. There are some categories that have been neglected recently and they need to be refilled. One is healthcare, pets, and I'm going to stuff my self-care envelope for sure because next month I'm going on a trip to the aquarium with an old student and her baby, and I offered to pay for them. So I'm going to make sure that I build that in, and I'm doing it for me and her and our relationship. So that's in a self-care envelope. I also need to budget for vacation, and this is all this first paycheck. Since the next paycheck is so far down the road, it's more than 2 weeks away, I'm going to restuff these most likely because they still need to be refilled. But for now, I'm going to focus on that first paycheck that I get on the 1st. So healthcare, I need to add at least 100. Pets, I need to add 300. Self-care needs to be 200. And vacation needs to be 200. So this is probably going to take me really low because I don't usually stuff large amounts like this into my sinking funds, but I've had to draw from them recently. And so I really need to replenish these categories for spending. So let's add this up and see what it comes to. 100 plus 300 plus 200 plus 200. That's $800. So for now, I don't have any variable expenses, nothing that's changing. Everything is consistent between my bills, my wallet, and all of these sinking funds. Everything is consistent because it's a zero-based budget, meaning I bring my income all the way down to zero and I give every single dollar a purpose. There's no debt at the moment, so I'm also going to leave that blank. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. I'm actually waiting for some old charges to fall off of my credit account. In my early 20s, I got into some serious debt. So my credit score isn't the best, but I am currently debt free. The only thing I have is student loans. But working for the state, I'm going to be getting public service loan forgiveness after 10 years of working for public schools. So I don't have to worry about my student loans either, which is really, really nice. So let's go ahead and plug this in for now. My income, my goal is $3,200. My fixed expenses is looking at $1,352. And I really should budget out the rest of this month. So let's go ahead and do that. I won't need another self-care envelope stuffing because whatever I use with this trip to the aquarium, I'll still have leftovers. But healthcare, pets, and vacations still needs to be stuffed the next paycheck. So we're gonna put another 100 into healthcare. We're gonna put 200 into pets because I need a total of $500 in pets. And then vacation, I'm going on another trip at the end of July. So I wanna have $400 in for vacation. So let's total that up again. Notice how I changed my mind already as I'm budgeting. Everything is fluid when I'm doing my budget. I've got 100 plus 300 plus 200 plus 200 plus 100 plus 200 plus 200. We've got 1,300 here, and that's in sinking funds. So I've got $3,200 as the expected income, minus $1,352, minus $1,300. That leaves me with $548, and that's gonna go in the remaining categories on my sinking funds tracker. So I've got a lot of binders with a lot of different categories, which I'm gonna show in just a second. Let's take a look at my sinking funds tracker that has all the categories. And I'm gonna transpose those important things over to here and then fill in the rest of the blanks. And I'll explain what I mean in just a second. So I'm gonna flip back and forth from July. This is my July 1st paycheck, and my expected balance is gonna be $1,600. Of course, again, this may change, but it's good to plan ahead. So I'm gonna go back to July's. And the reason I love digital budgeting is because I can just copy and paste with the lasso tool. So I'm gonna copy these numbers that I just came up with. I'm gonna go back to my sinking funds page, and I'm gonna paste that in off to the side. Whoa, let's try it again. Copy and paste. All right, so these are the numbers for the month. Since this page, this entire sinking funds tracker is just for one paycheck, I'm gonna erase what I had for the 15th, and I'm just gonna focus on these categories. So for July 1st, in healthcare, I wanted to put 100. In pets, I wanted to put 300. Self-care, 200. And then vacation, 200. So now I'm gonna erase that information, and I've transposed it into the sinking funds tracker. Now let's go back to my monthly plan for just a second. Notice I have $548 left to spend after all the important things have been covered. So we're gonna figure out what to do with that $548. I'm gonna write that number on the sinking funds tracker, 548. I'm gonna just write it at the top. So this is what I have left with to cover these other categories. So I've got my business binder, I've got my high priority sinking funds and my low priority sinking funds. I also have some electronic payments that are gonna go through. Amazon is gonna get a card for $100. I put it on my Cash App card. That way I can budget exactly $100 to spend on Amazon for miscellaneous things. SoFi is my Roth IRA, and that's gonna get $300 this paycheck. So that already wipes out $400, which means I'm actually only left with $148 to go into my envelopes, because these are electronic, meaning I don't have envelopes for those. So I've got $148 left to spend, and it's zero-based budget. So every one of these dollars needs to have a job. So I'm gonna assign some of the jobs in my business binder. This is a new binder, so it's pretty empty at the moment. YouTube is gonna get $5. Inventory is gonna get $5. Amazon, 5. Emergency, 5. Equipment, 5. Taxes, 5. Advertisement, 20. PO Box, 20. And reinvestment, 5. So let's add that up. We've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, plus 40. Okay, so that's a total of $75 going into my business binder. So I had 148, and I've just assigned 75 of those dollars to a job. So now I have $73 to work with. I think what I'm gonna do is just put a couple of 5s into each of the remaining categories. So I've got an emergency envelope. That really should get more. Let's go ahead and put 5 into entertainment, personal, car maintenance, clothing, holiday, birthday, and savings challenges. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So I've just assigned $35 to a job. So I'm gonna subtract that from the 73, and I have $38 left. I'm gonna put that remaining $38 into emergency. So notice how I started with what was left based on my monthly tracker. I took into account my electronic payments that are $400. I reduced that, and then I gave every single dollar a job. Every dollar belongs in a different category. So for my high priority sinking funds, when this paycheck comes, I'm gonna get $100 in healthcare, $300 in pets. Notice this envelope is completely empty, and that's really not good. Emergency is going to get $38. Vacation is going to get $200 because we need to restuff this. We just spent the entire vacation envelope, which was about $900 on a trip to North Carolina. So we're going to start restuffing this. Entertainment's going to get $5. And then our Roth IRA is going to get $300 of the prop bills. So that'll be nice to continue to stuff that as well. My low priority sinking funds, we said personal is going to get $5. Self-care is getting $200. This is a decision I made earlier on the monthly page because I'm having that trip to the aquarium and I want to make sure that I can cover mine and hers and her daughter's ticket. Debt is getting nothing. Car maintenance is getting $5. Clothing will be getting $5. Holiday will be getting $5. Birthday will be getting, actually, you know what? Birthday funded at the moment. So I think I'm going to take this $5 out and put that towards the emergency fund. So 38 plus 5, 43 is going to go into emergency. And then my savings fund is empty because I just put it into the savings challenges. So that's going to get a 5 as well. So I hope you were able to stay along with me for some of the mathematics here. I'm kind of subtracting and figuring out what needs to go where. It's very much like a Sudoku puzzle. If you've ever played Sudoku, you've really got to fill in the blanks and find out what needs to go where. And if this video is a little bit unclear, stay tuned to watch my actual sinking funds video where I plug in those dollars literally into the envelopes. That might help solidify the ideas a little bit more. I'm going to go to the bank. I'm going to get all of the denominations for the entire paycheck, and I'm going to bring it home. So let's do that next. My wallet is getting $300, but this is for a bi-weekly paycheck, and I like to split it in half. So I get half per week. So each week, my wallet's going to get a total of $150. Groceries is going to get $20 per week. Dining out is going to get $90 per week. Gas is going to get $25 a week. Gifts is going to get $5 a week, and miscellaneous gets $10 a week. So this one's the only one that's a little bit confusing because I split it bi-weekly. Groceries is going to get a total of $40 with 2 20s. Dining out needs to get $90 twice. So I'm going to do $90 and then I'm going to do it twice for a total of $180. Gas is going to get $25 twice. So I need to make sure I pull 2 $20 bills and 2 $5 bills so I can divide it between the weeks. Gifts is going to get $5 each week. So that's 2 $5 bills. And then miscellaneous is going to get $10 a week. So I'm going to get 2 10s. Everything else gets bi-weekly. Everything else gets put every 2 weeks, whereas my wallet is every single week. So let's do denominations. What do I need to get from the bank for my car loan? I need to get a $100 bill, a $50 bill, and 2 1s. Car insurance, I need $156 and 162. Safe Share is getting $6. Apple Music is getting $10. YouTube Premium is getting $12. My phone bill is getting a $20 bill, and Amazon is going to get $14. So a 10 and 4 1s. I'm going to get a bunch of 5s for my business binder. 5 5. I'm going to pull these 5s from the bank. Advertisement is going to get a $20 bill. P.O. Box will get a 20, and reinvestment will get a 5. So let's count up this side, and then we're going to add it to this side in just a second. I need 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 1s. I need 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 5s. 1 2 3 4 5 6 10s. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 20s. I need 4 50s and 2 $100 bills. So 11 1s, that's 11. 12 5s, that's 60. 6 10s is 60. 11 20s is 220. 4 50s is 200, and 2 100s is 200. Okay, so let's do this side. I need to figure out what denominations need to come from the bank. Healthcare is going to get a $100 bill. Pets is going to get 300. Emergency is going to get 43. So let's do 2 20s and 3 1s. Vacation is going to get 200, and entertainment is going to get 5. Personal gets 5. Self-care gets $200 bills. Car maintenance 5. Clothing 5, holiday 5, and savings challenges 5. These are electronic payments that'll be using my debit card, so that will not need cash from the bank. So I'm going to count this side up, but I'm gonna add it to the left side so that I have the total on the right side. So I need 1, 2, 3 ones plus the 11, that's 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fives plus 12. 6 plus 12 is 18. I need 18 fives total. No 10s, so I'm gonna take 6 from the left side. 2 20s, so I'm gonna add that to the 11 that I need. So I actually need 13 20s total. No 50s on this side, so that's 4 total. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 2, I'm gonna need 10 hundreds. All right, so we've got 1,000, 200. I'm gonna need 13 20s. That's 260. 6 10s, which is 60. 18 fives. That's 90, and 14 ones. So this is the total amount that I'm gonna take to the bank. I'm gonna write the teller a slip just on a sticky note. And the way I write it to bring it to the bank so that the teller knows exactly what I need, I write the date at the top. This will be 7/1. I write the denominations, hundreds, 50s, 20s, 10, 5, 1. I'm gonna need 10 $100 bills for a total of 1,000. I'll need 4 50s for a total of 200. 13 20s for 260. 6 10s for $60. 18 fives for 90, and 14 ones for $14. At the bottom, I'll write the total. So let's add this up and make sure. So let's add this up and figure out exactly how much we're going to be putting into our sinking funds. 1,000 plus 200 plus 260 plus 60 plus 14. That's going to be a total of 1624. Now notice this is a little bit more than the expected paycheck. This is fine because my real paychecks are always a little bit more than $1,600. They're usually about $1,680. So any wiggle room that's there, I'll be able to use that. Now, when I actually get my paycheck, because my paychecks vary, I still want this to be a zero-based budget. So let's say my paycheck comes in and I have $1,680. That means I'm gonna have $60 extra sitting there. I'm gonna apply that $60 somewhere and give it a job. Same thing goes with being flexible. Let's say I don't get this much. Let's say they're still docking my pay from absences. Let's say it's underneath $1,600. It's a little bit less. Let's say I get $1,550. Then I'm gonna have to cut somewhere. I will cut one of these categories or 2 of these categories when the time comes. But for now, this is the total. This is the expected balance, and this is what I plan to bring to the bank, for a total of $1,624. Last thing I can do is double check the math one final time just to make sure that everything is counted correctly. So my wallet is gonna get 300, my bills is gonna get 376, business is gonna get 75, high priority sinking funds is gonna have 648, and then low priority sinking funds is gonna have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 225 plus 225. That should equal, yep, 1624. So that's the total amount. I hope this makes sense. Again, if you are a little bit unclear, stay tuned for the next video where I do the actual cash stuffing. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. And if you watched the full video with me, thank you so much for staying along with me. It tells me that you appreciate the video, you appreciate the content, and it encourages me to make more content. So if you stayed to the end of the video, please leave a little pizza emoji in the comments below. That way I know you made it here and you're with me on this journey together. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope you do really spectacular things. Bye-bye.